recently Tesla's been on a tear in terms of stock price, and their market cap has now exceeded Ford's. What do you make of how the market is valuing Tesla compared to the established car makers?
Well, I can only make it how speak to Ford. But as a company, we don't manage our company on day-to-day stock price movements, but we are absolutely committed to creating shareholder value for our shareholders and creating value in the company. And we're going to do that by fortifying our profit pillars, by transforming the underperforming parts of our business, and by growing in the emerging opportunities like mobility, autonomous vehicles, and electrification.
You've announced more investment in your plants in Michigan and Kentucky, and you pulled out of manufacturing in Mexico. And this very much agrees with President Trump's agenda of more U.S. manufacturing, and he's likes to take credit for things. What has President Trump done that he can really take credit for that makes your life easier, makes Ford's business operating easier?
Well, first off, I think it's very positive when the President of the United States is literally his number one priority is the economy. And I think that's good for all Americans. When you look at our business, again, we're going to do what's right for the business, but when there's an environment that is more conducive to encourage manufacturing in the United States, we'll do that. That was part of the announcements that we made to produce our autonomous vehicle in Michigan and Flat Rock, as well as our full battery electric vehicle SUV that's coming out in the next number of years. But at the same time, we're also going to take advantage of the manufacturing footprint that we've laid out around the world. And in the case of Mexico, yes, we did cancel a plant, and that was mainly due to the fact that we didn't see the need for the capacity because it was going to be focused on compact cars, and we can now make that an existing plant in Mexico.
You've just come back from China. President Trump has just met with President Xi. Mm-hmm. How encouraged are you by what you've heard about the conversations that they're having and the discussions of trade that they're having?
Well, I'm very encouraged. First off, I'm encouraged by the fact that the two presidents came together to talk about how to improve the relationships, but also at the same time how to make sure that there's mutual benefits, for each country. As we look at what was discussed in the 100-day working plan, I think that's very positive, and obviously we want to input into that, and being on the President's Manufacturing Council, we'll be able to do that.
The announcements that you had coming out of China, you're making a local model of a Lincoln for China and setting up a manufacturing plant there. Do you fear any sort of political headwinds when you're setting up manufacturing abroad now?
Well, we're always going to do what's right for the business. As you look at our business in China, last year we had a record sales year. We sold over 1.25 million vehicles there. Most of them are produced in China. But we also export a good number of products to China. We have a net surplus of exports to China of about $2.5 to $3 billion. And a number of them being all of our Lincolns that are imported into China, although we'll start producing one model there in 2019. But we have to do what's right for the business, and at the same time, we want to contribute to economic growth, both in the U.S. and in other places we do business.